Mind the gap.
So, welcome to my Build the Routemasters, part number 6, and we'll start off by just having a look at the magazine. You'll see me stop at a couple of points that interest me. Obviously, this is a first look for me, so I know nothing about this. In fact, I know as much as you do right now. So, quick flick through the magazine. There's one bus that caught my eye, a Mercedes-Benz Citaro. Obviously, first of all, I need to just check the parts, and they're all there. Quick flick through, have a look at the instructions, and my thoughts at this point is, oh my god, how hard is this going to be? But in actual fact, it wasn't that bad. You see that I get the part that I made in part 5 because I'm going to need that. So all of these parts are going to be fitted to part 5. So yeah, going back to the magazine, there's the Citaro. I mean, I didn't drive a fuel cell bus, but I did drive the Citaros, and I quite enjoyed the Citaros actually. So yeah, that was nice. And the next picture that I stop at is the old B-type bus. Now I did do a little bit of a pause on the previous video. I have actually built this on the Airfix kit. And I found it quite a nice little bus, quite interesting. Not many seats, it wouldn't cope with many of the modern services. And then I found the article on trolley buses quite interesting. But obviously we're here to build the Routemaster, and that's what we're going to do. So yeah, let's crack on. So we need to take our suspension arm assembly that we made last week, and we need to get the suspension arm cover part 6A and just place that in the correct position. And then what we'll do is we'll get some GM screws ready. Now what I like to do is put them in a pot and just pop the little sticker on so I know what the pot contains. So we'll need 3 of these screws, and we just simply screw it in. So what we're going to do now is we're going to assemble the screws ready. These are the HM screws. We're going to pop those into another pot, and we need to get the trailing link mounts, which are part 6A. I did notice that they have a number on them. One has a number 1, one has a number 2. I'm not sure if that's relevant at this stage. But each of these, now they will line up with a little lug and 2 screw holes, and then you just fasten them with 2 HM screws. Now section 3 says to flip it over and test fit the springs. To be honest with you, this really didn't achieve anything. We kind of know the springs are going to fit. And obviously I did this without looking at part 4 first, so I just thought, whoa, what's going on? So I mean, by all means test fit those springs. I wouldn't bother because you're just going to take them out to do the next piece. So the next piece is to take the shock absorber fixture part 6C, and you need to fasten that first of all with 2 EM springs, and then you'll actually notice there's 4 screw holes, and then you'll need to fix the other 2 holes and then repeat for the other side. Now if you look at the shock absorber fixture, you'll see that there's 2 holes at the top, 2 holes at the bottom. The 2 at the top are closer together. They're the ones you need to fit in first. Make sure that the bottom pin goes all the way through. On this first one, I actually fixed the bottom ones first. I didn't have too much trouble. However, I found the second one was slightly easier. I did have some issues. However, those issues were more to do with paint, overpaint on the metal parts, I needed to scrape some of that away. Some of the screw holes weren't quite big enough, but generally if you watch me do this one, you'll see that I've done the screws the wrong way round, and then on the second one I did do them correctly. So this is the part where I had trouble with the screws. It really wasn't going in, so I actually removed it, had a look at the screw holes, and I just had to widen one of them, and all I did was I just popped a knife in there and scraped it. So my advice would be just to check these holes before you start to put it in. You'll also notice that I'm pushing it down. It is quite hard because of the spring, but if you push it down, it just helps it keep it in place. Okay, so now we need to fit the upper trailing links, which are labelled part 6B, and these are fixed with a total of 4 screws, all labelled GM. And now the first one I actually found quite easy to do. The second one was awful. The actual hole wasn't big enough, and I had to just keep scraping away at it. Now what you'll find is that the actual trailing links are effectively a hole, but the part that they go into are actually screw threads. So it doesn't matter if you scrape away at the thread on the trailing links. Ideally you want to keep that thread, but obviously if you've got some paint in there, which I suspect is the problem, it will make it difficult, and if necessary scrape it away. So long as you keep the threads on the piece that it screws into. I've probably confused you there, but watch this and hopefully it will all come together. So after many attempts of trying it with the screwdrivers, I eventually turned to the file, and you see this is the part. It's okay to remove the thread if necessary, so long as you don't remove I'm trying to think of the part number now. So long as you don't remove any of the thread from the part that we built last week, just the upper trailing links. But after I've scraped away, it went in absolutely fine and held really well. Okay, to complete this build, we just need to get the 8 caps, which are labelled 6F, and they fit into the screw socket recesses at the end of each of the links. Now some of these required a little bit of force to get them in. They are meant to be tight, they're not meant to fall out. So you see I've banged them, I've pushed them. There was one that didn't quite fit in properly, so I just took it out. I put another one in instead and tried to fit it into another hole, and it went absolutely fine. I find the two middle ones on each side went in a little bit better because obviously you've got better reach, and that completes the build. Now I do apologise, my recording software, I don't know what happened, but it seems to have lost the end, in the sense that it just froze. So I've had to re-record the end bit where I'm testing it, but I thought it was a good build. I really did enjoy that part. Now I did say in a couple of issues ago, I think it was when we were building the rear platform, I found that there was just enough work to do, and I said if there was any more, it probably would have been too much. Now parts 5 and 6, I found that they've actually had more work to do. Although there may have been less parts and it's smaller, there was an awful lot of work to do. This particular part had some issues with the screw holes that needed fixing. I'm sure that that's just a one-off. I'm sure not everybody experienced that, but they were both a lot harder than doing the rear platform, and to be honest with you, I thought that was perfect. I really did enjoy it. Absolutely fantastic. I can't wait for the next issue. Although there is a rumour that, I say rumour, pictures have been posted. Obviously I've received this via the subscription, so at the time of filming I've not actually received part 7. I believe it's a small part, with just it's just a disc break. Some people are complaining, but I will discuss that in the next video. So that's it for this week, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you all next week. Take care, guys. Bye bye.